Morning of the 50. It is 6:08. Let's scale. $245.6, up like 5-ish pounds for the week, but it's all good. Let's go ahead and make breakfast for the ride. Eggs, bacon, we'll go from there.
What's up, friends? Mitch here, and welcome back to Fat to Fast, my cycling and weight loss journey. A few months ago, I was sedentary, overweight, and barely making it by. With all those negatives, we took them and baked them into positives. My friends and I officially set a goal a little bit back. It's a sub 3 hour, 50-mile ride, and we smashed it. From fat to fast, this is what genuine progress looks like. Today, we have several objectives to cover in this video: my current weight, my previous rides from the week, the fastest 50, my group ride, and the rides to be coming this following week. Since my last video, my weight has been an absolute roller coaster. We started off the week at 240, which, hey, I mean, that's basically 40 pounds down from where we started. Needless to say, I was extremely hype. I was like, we're literally 20 pounds from our goal weight with 3 months to spare. Then reality set in, 246.3 for the next couple days. And it wasn't until I was writing this script when I cracked sub 245. I'm 242 as of this morning, so 2 pounds up from my previous goal. But let's be honest here, the strength is there, and you'll kind of see that with the rides to come. So let's get into the rides from last week. Sunday, I was supposed to do a zone 2 ride for 1 hour with some zone 4 intervals or zone 5 intervals sprinkled in. I'm going to be real with you. My first ride was 35-ish minutes ballpark, and it was pretty much all zone 4, zone 5. And I dropped out the back of the group that I was riding with. Got to give a genuine shout out here to my mom. Thanks for coming to bail me out of BFE. Monday, I was supposed to ride, but didn't. Yeah. So you don't win every day, right? Something I've always said, you don't win every day. But honestly, probably for the best due to what we're going to talk about next, which is going to be my Tuesday ride. Tuesday, let's go. It was a freaking day. We didn't obliterate our time goal for the 50-mile ride, but we did outpace what the goal was, which was going to be 16.666. For sub 3 hour 50. We ended up pacing about 17 miles. Me and my friends, we've ridden this route collectively many times, and there's a couple of roller hills on there, and specifically on Tuesday, the wind was always in our face. It averaged about 18 miles an hour, and the temperature outside, it felt like 100 degrees with a UV of 10. So my redheaded self was getting cooked out there on the bike, and not just getting cooked on the bike. You know what I'm saying? Like we were melting out there. And towards the end of the ride, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, because always want to be fully transparent. I started to crack, my heart rate had been elevated for a little bit, and the heat started to get to me. And just at no point ever did I really feel 100% on the ride. I was always just doing enough to make it. But other than that, my friends, you guys know who you are. Like, genuinely great freaking ride. You guys absolutely killed it. And thanks for dragging me around for 50 miles, 2 hours 55 minutes out there. So that's going to conclude Tuesday's 50-mile goal. We absolutely destroyed our goal. Now let's go ahead and move into Wednesday. So Wednesday, I was still feeling the 50, of course. But I figured once I went to work, I'd get out and be able to change around 11 p.m. To do one of the first interval works of this new plan. And it was a 30-second all out sprint interval with a 15-second off 30 times. And that absolutely decimated me. My arms hurt from pulling and pushing on the bars. My core hurt from trying to stabilize the power going through my legs. I have genuinely never in my life spun out my little ring in the back on flatland. I've only done that going downhill. Let's say it to that day, Wednesday, it was the day for me to spin it out every single time I was sprinting. My goodness. Talk about getting fired up, but still dying on the inside. Your boy was fired up, but he was dead after the ride. When I made it back home, I literally just sat and looked at the floor for probably 30 minutes. It was ridiculous, but it was great. Sometimes you got to push yourself to that absolute maximum. And I believe I did, especially after another maximum ride the day prior. Um, Now the ride that I was probably looking forward to second most this week. Also, I do need to caveat this. I was supposed to do 4 total workout rides. I basically worked in 3 of the 4 rides this week. I didn't do my strength intervals for the week. I should have done them in this ride yesterday, but we definitely did a lot of like zone 3-ish, zone 4 work. So take that for what you will. So Thursday, me and my buddy, we found a group ride on Thursdays, and they're known as the Fayetteville Wheelmen. Um, it's a really cool group, and pretty much it's open to anybody. They have a B, and C group, and with my rides in the previous days, I just wanted to take it easy, so I decided to do the C group ride. It's a absolutely no drop ride, and so I figured I can just kind of pain dangle off the back if I'm in too much pain. Um, well, it was me and the president because nobody else wanted to ride C group, which I was like, great. And so C group, they do generally average that 13 to 15 miles an hour, but let's be real here. This man's on a tarmac, a specialized tarmac, a multi-$1,000 bike with carbon wheels. Like his setup was immaculate, and your boy is out here on a gravel bike. And so when me and him started rolling, he was just explaining like different hand gestures and stuff to use when you're group riding. And after probably about 20 minutes, I'm noticing that we're keeping pace at about 18, 19 miles an hour, and he was pulling me around for a little bit, and I see him look down at his computer, and then he immediately like jetted his head back straight to me, and he goes, "Are you doing okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm doing good. What's going on?" And he was like, "I mean, we're way outpacing where we're supposed to be. Like, if we need to slow down, like we can." And I was like, "Man, I don't need to slow down." And he was like, "If you don't need to slow down, then take a dang pull." And I was like, "Okay, brother, I got you." So we made it to what's called the Pee Barn. If you couldn't figure it out, it's where they go pee on these long rides, right? We were sitting there for like 10 minutes, and he was like, "Dude, like you didn't need a B ride or a C ride. You needed to be on the B ride." And like we kind of just talked about it. And so he said he kind of gave me a couple options, and I was like, "You know what? I do want to get the most out of this ride today. Let's climb this big hill right next to us." So me and him climbed this big hill to wait on B group, and then man, it was freaking awesome. I mean, B group had 12 riders, and we outpaced them. So I mean, in my eyes, especially after 2 big days of riding, that's a great sign. In the words of one of my good friends, Jaden, we are so back, man. Um, so let's get into rides that are coming up this week. Sunday, it's going to be a 1 hour zone 2 ride. Nice and easy, nothing really to write home about. Following that's going to be on my Monday ride. It'll be a 2 hour zone 2 ride. Yet again, basically like Sunday, just multiplied by 2. So nothing really to write home about. Tuesday is going to be the 5 minute strength intervals. Steps are going to be shown on the screen right now. And this will be the first time actually attempting these strength intervals. So I'm genuinely curious how it's going to go. It could be great. I could also just fall off the bike. I mean, after the 30-second intervals from last week, who knows at this point? I'm just praying, hoping for the best. And then my last ride for the coming week is going to be the 30-second all-out intervals with 15 seconds off 30 times. If I don't die on Tuesday, I think Wednesday is going to be the day that the channel ends officially. Okay. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and change gears. Like let's really dig into this. Last week you saw me struggling for a zone 2 hour and 30-minute ride. This week, I'm setting a new PR, benchmarks, and milestones. My friends and I didn't magically get thinner, faster, or more fit. It's through absolute consistency and dedication. My 50-mile ride is a win, not just because of speed, but because it's a reminder that hard work compounds. If you're watching this and you're stuck at the start line, just know you don't have to be fast today. You just have to start moving. Thanks for riding along on my journey from fat to fast. If you're chasing a big ride, a weight goal, or an overall fitness goal, drop a comment down below and tell me about it so I can help cheer you on just the way you are cheering me on. Hit subscribe for me. Keep following this journey. We're not even close to being done. Let's ride.